Welcome to the LP experience. My name is LP. Hi, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. I want to put that out there before I go into today's video. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you 5 thriller book recommendations that I have. I love reading books, and most of the books I love reading are thriller books because I just like thriller books. I'm not really a romance person, but once in a while I actually indulge in romance books. And so today I want to share a couple of books that I enjoy and I want to put out there. Now there's a reason why I didn't say these are my best books, because they are not actually my best books. I believe that there are more books that I am yet to actually experience, and there are more books that I am yet to read, and those might be my best books, but these are books that, if you ask me at the top of my head, I might be able to say it. And even while compiling the list of books for this video, I realized that there were so many other books that I haven't even that I've read but I haven't shared, and I just feel like I have to make another video because, man, these thriller writers are writing. They are writing. So I'm going to start with the first book, and the first book is The Silent Patient by Alex Misadalala. I really don't know how to pronounce his name, and I don't want to butcher it, so I'm just going to put it out there. His name is Alex. That's what I know about him. So The Silent Patient revolves around a woman that shot her husband and stopped speaking. So she went mute after shooting her husband, and the story just revolves around this psychiatrist that is trying to make her talk. He believes that he can investigate the case, find out what really happened that night, and help her finally talk. And I really enjoyed this book because you would not expect the end. I read this book, I recommended it to my mom, she read the book, and both of us were shocked by the end. And my mom is someone that always knows who or what is happening, but this one my mom couldn't guess it, and that is a flex because my mom always knows the answer to whatever mystery is out there, but my mom couldn't guess it. So I would really recommend this book to you if you want to read thrillers. The second book I'm going to be recommending is Just Like the Other Girls. I hardly see this book. In fact, I have never seen this book on Book Talk, BookTube. I have not seen this book anywhere, but I found it in a bookstore, and when I read the back, I was like, I have to read this book because it's my kind of book. It's giving me Riley Sager, Behind Closed Doors vibes, if you have read that book, and I like Riley Sager, so yeah. So it's a book that surrounds this house, and in this house there's an old woman that lives there. Now it is known that she's always employing young girls to come and, to be her companion in the house, and most times the girls disappear. Like, they just go to be her companion, to take care of her, and then they disappear. And so the book surrounds Una, who decides to be a companion for this woman because the money is good, and that's what they always used to trap these people, the fact that the money is good. If you've read Behind Closed Doors by Riley Sager, you would also know that it was because the money is good that she went to go and stay in that house, and that's the same thing with this. And so she's like, okay, what could go wrong? I mean, the money is good, I want money, so what could possibly go wrong? Yeah, but you need to read this book to know what is happening, what is going on behind the house, and it's really a good book. I highly recommend. The third book I am going to be recommending is Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. I remember my friend recommending this book to me last year, and I was like, I tried to read it as an ebook, but then I saw it at a bookstore and I was like, no, I have to get this and finally read this book. I know what it's all about, and honestly, once you start reading this book, you are not going to be able to stop. You're going to I finished this book in the middle of the night. That's to show you how good this book is. And this book is about a couple, all these couples that you see them and they're just perfect. Everything seems perfect. The wife is perfect, the husband is perfect, their marriage is perfect, but behind closed doors, so many things are going on. Yeah, a lot of things are going on, and that's the thing about thriller books. I can't give you too much information because I don't want to spoil it, but really, this book is good. You might call it true love, but there's nothing true about their love. So I really recommend this book, and it will hook you in, and I'll recommend it for people that are just getting into the thriller journey, because even though it might be a hard book to swallow because it has some things that you might need a trigger warning for, but I would really recommend this if you're just starting your thriller journey. So read it. And the fourth book I'll be recommending, which I don't have here with me, is The Other Mrs. Parrish. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. I should have done my research. But I've read the book, and it's The Other Mrs. Parrish. And if you're in Nigeria and you have watched movies like this, you know that movie where the woman wants to take another woman's husband, and then she has this elaborate scheme and plan to steal this other woman's husband and blah blah blah. Yes, that's the premise of this particular book. And what I like about it is the twisted turn. In the middle of the book, it just takes a turn that you would never expect, and that is what hooks me. Because when I started reading it, I was like, this is so predictable. But as I just got to the middle, I was like, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting this. So I would really recommend that book. I recommend you to check it out and to read it, and it's something I would also recommend for people just getting into reading thrillers. The last book I am going to be recommending is Verity by Colleen Hoover. Now, I don't read Colleen Hoover personally, and Verity is the first and probably the last book I would ever read from her. I know that there's some controversy surrounding her, but that's actually not the reason why I wouldn't read a book from her again. It's just that Verity is a thriller book, and I really am not into all this romance, tragic romance kind of thing. It's not my thing, so I wouldn't read it. But I really liked Verity because Verity gave me nightmares. I finished reading Verity, and I remember being very jumpy after reading that book. I remember having nightmares after reading that book. And man, I like books with open endings as well. So Verity surrounds this author that writes books, of course, is an author, and gets a deal from a very popular author known as Verity to write her books for her. Now, Verity is sick and can't write her books, so they decide to employ this author to move into their house, co-write Verity's books with her. And as she moves into the house with the hot and handsome husband and her child, she stumbles upon Verity's manuscript or journal, as you may, whatever you want to call it, and realizes that there's more to Verity that meets the eyes. There's more to the whole situation that meets the eyes. So those are my 5 thriller recommendations that I would recommend, because they're recommendations to you. If you've read any of them, let's have a chat about it in the comments section. Let's talk about it. If there's any you want to check out, talk to me about it. If there's anyone you're reading right now, talk to me about it. And if you have recommendations, please talk to me about it. Please share your recommendations, because I am always looking for new thriller books to read. So thank you for watching, and until next time, bye.